Yo, quick video guys to explain the run game at a pit. So at a pit, the singleback trio or singleback trips, you have three really good runs. You have the dive, the stretch, and the zone weak. So you got the dive, stretch, zone weak. We'll go ahead, I'll just show you how these look, how you want to run these. You also have a draw, a power O. I haven't found much use for those runs. Not saying that they aren't good, just don't know how much I would actually use them. So here's just a clip of the draw. You'll see singleback draw, they're just not that good, right? So draw could theoretically work if somebody's just sitting in cover 4 all day long. The power O is not bad. I just don't feel it's better than the zone weak. So you'll see power O. You don't get the greatest blocking. You could flip it to either side, but you see when you flip it to the other side, the linebacker or the lineman doesn't really get over there a lot of the times. But you could actually pick up some good yards with that run if you wanted to mix it in, right? So once again, that's power O. The main runs I wanted to focus on, as I mentioned though, are the dive, zone weak, and the stretch. So the stretch, if anybody base aligns out of anything, really, if they're base aligned, you're going to have this number advantage on this left-hand side. This works extremely well against crossfire type blitzes. You can see that you get these really glitchy runs against people that base align. Especially if they're blitzing a lot of people with the stretch. Now, you can run the stretch to this other side. Say they don't base align. You could motion a guy over and pick up some decent yards running the stretch to that side, although it's not nearly as big of a home run threat, or in my opinion, even a good run running it that way. Now, the dive. The dive is pretty glitchy in terms of the fact that if you flip it, so say they're non-baseline, right? If you flip it to the left side, you can have, well, not if they blitz crib, but you could have a really nice cutback lane to this backside. If you can get back out there. That's something that Skeeman does really well. If you guys have watched him play, Bam, Skeeman is his name. But you could also run, the way that I run it is I just call it, I'll motion a guy over, maybe it look like I'm setting up a passing play, and then you're just looking to kind of bounce it back to the outside. Not nearly as good of a home run. Although if they do something crazy like spread their D-line, they're just in a goofy defense, like dollar, like crossfire actually is a good defense to show. So you just motion this guy over, make it look like you're passing, and now you have the ability to pick up some decent yards. Like I said, dive's not going to be the greatest thing ever, but it's also not going to get you killed. Ideally, you want to run the dive a lot more if you have a trucking back as opposed to an elusive back, because you can just fall forward. But as I mentioned, solid run, especially, it has its purpose. Additionally, I'll run this a couple more times since I've gotten blown up the majority of them. But you can see you got nice little cutback lanes. It's a good run. I run zone weak the majority of the time. Now, zone weak, let's see what we're in. We're in engage 8 again. Cool. What are we in here? Just a regular 2-man under. All right. So zone weak, you'll see that you set this edge really, really well. And I have no idea why this is, but on this run in particular, you'll see that this guy, very rarely will he block shed. You can see everybody else on the D-line block shedded. Legit, all 3 people on the D-line block shed. Right away. Just instantly block sheds. All of them. But the guy that's setting our edge over here on the left doesn't. This allows us to take advantage of the numbers game to this left-hand side, pick up some good yards. We'll go ahead, we'll do it again. We're blitzing towards that side. Once again, edge is set, pick up great yards.